So this was our first amino acid structure that we saw in the previous video. And this was just simply a hydrogen on the alpha carbon. And we said that this was non-chiral because there were two of the same groups on it. But the name of this amino acid was called glycine, and the three-letter abbreviation was GLY, and the one-letter abbreviation was a G. And this is the set of material that I need you to memorize and take to heart, because this is what will be on the test. So there's the structure for glycine. Many of you in the instrumentation class has probably started off with a TLC chamber, and this TLC chamber is amino acids. If you didn't do it in instrumentation, there's a possibility that you'll do it in this course, but this is working with amino acids. And you probably have worked with amino acids. You've now spotted the amino acids on the TLC plate. You've seen them kind of travel up the TLC plate and do what they need to do. So you've got working experience with some of these amino acids at this point. Glycine was one of those. So there you go. There's glycine, there's the structure, GLY and G. So let's take a look at some of our other amino acids. This group was our R group. That group is what's going to get changed every single time. Everything else up here stays the same. So this hydrogen we can erase, and we can put our next group on there. And there was a hydrogen, so let's put a CH3 group, a methyl group. Okay, well this is not glycine anymore. This is a different amino acid now. So I'm going to erase glycine and GLY and G. And by putting a methyl group on here, we have a new amino acid. And this new amino acid is called alanine. And alanine's three-letter abbreviation is, guess what? ALA. And alanine's one-letter abbreviation is, guess what? A. So, one letter, three-letter, name, structure. So there's the structure for alanine. So we're kind of getting more complicated amino acid structures as we will go along. We start off with a hydrogen. We then replace that hydrogen with a methyl group, and that methyl group makes this thing alanine. Okay, so let me get rid of these and let's go to our next. So we put a hydrogen here, we put a methyl group there. Now let's put a CH3 CH3. This is an isopropyl group, right? There's a 3-carbon chain. It's making an L kind of on us. That is a isopropyl. And this isopropyl group, if you look at it, kind of makes a V here on the end, right? A fork in the road kind of makes a V. So the structure for the isopropyl amino acid, well, the name for it at least, is called valine. The three-letter abbreviation, guess what? VAL. And the one-letter abbreviations, guess what? V. So there's valine, isopropyl group, VAL, V. Kind of simple. We kind of see a trend going on, right? I feel kind of comfortable with this. Why did you try to make this out to be so difficult? Okay, so that's amino acid number 3. All right, so let's go to number 4. So there's glycine, alanine, valine. And let me erase this isopropyl group here. Our next one that we can put in, we just lengthen the carbon one. So instead of a CH with 2 methyl groups, this is going to be a CH2CH with 2 methyl groups. Well, to make this a little cleaner, I can just put a CH3 group on out here to the side. That means the same thing. So I kind of see the V here on the end, just like I did with valine. The difference, though, is that there's a middle carbon now involved, an extra carbon. This is an isobutyl group. So the first one was isopropyl, 3 carbons in total. This is isobutyl, 4 carbons in total. So this 4-carbon chain, isobutyl group, gives me a new amino acid. And that new amino acid is called leucine, in the sky with diamonds. So leucine, Leucine. The 3-letter abbreviation, guess what? LEU. First letter abbreviations, guess what? L. Ding, ding, ding. You get it correct. So leucine, valine, alanine, and glycine. So we've got one more. We can modify this one more time. So let me just erase all of the names and abbreviations over here. And what we can do is that we understand that this is a butyl group now, and this is not the only type of butyl group that I could get. This is isobutyl. But what if I just took the methyl group off here and put it here? Would that give me something different? And the answer is yes. The problem, though, however, is that this has to be a CH because I have to make room for that bond. And that hydrogen kind of gets shifted here because that still needs 4 bonds in total. So we'll see a hydrogen and a methyl switch places. But there's basically a sec-butyl group. And the sec-butyl group is not called leucine. Right, that's what we called our isobutyl group. Well, because this is a isomer of the leucine, well, I can call this isoleucine, and that is the name that it goes by. So isoleucine, I saw Lucy too. Isoleucine, 3-letter abbreviation. Well, yep. But it's not ISO. That would make it too easy. They put the I there for iso, and then they put the LE there for the leucine. So ILE is the 3-letter abbreviation for isoleucine, and the 1-letter abbreviation for it is an I. So there you go. Simple as that. That takes care of the family that we call aliphatics. So ALIPHATIC, aliphatic side chain. If you notice, all of the aliphatic side chains, they're kind of organic in nature. They were just hydrocarbons. Nothing really special about them at all. They were just carbons and hydrogens for the most part. So aliphatic side chain amino acids include glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, and isoleucine. So those are your 5 that go and fall into that set of amino acids. They all have a particular purpose. They all kind of behave the same way in the protein structure because they have very similar R groups that we have changed. Again, they're all carbons and hydrogens based in kind of the basics of organic chemistry. So a hydrogen, a methyl, an isopropyl, an isobutyl, and a sec-butyl group. Those are what we are seeing with the aliphatic side chain amino acids. So those are the first 5 that I would start to memorize. Start drawing them on a sheet of paper. Make sure you feel comfortable with them. Make sure you feel comfortable with the names, the 3 letters and 1-letter abbreviations. And in the next video, we'll look at our next set. And this next set will introduce more. We'll talk about what these R groups are going to be doing, and we'll look at those 3-letter and 1-letter abbreviations as well. So keep on a truckin'. At least get through the structures of the amino acids before you take a break from me. I know this can be kind of boring sometimes, but you know, get that soda, get that cup of coffee, get that cup of tea, make sure it's caffeinated because we've got quite some distance to go before we're finished with this module.